If I could come back for a moment just to follow up on the MCA compliant component here of overall trade. Do you know what the percentage is in terms of Mexico and Canada from our imports that is MCA compliant?
I think it's over 50%.
Okay. So at least 50% for the next month will not be receiving that 25% tariff of imports from Mexico and Canada.
Well,
sort of fair to say that?
I said that was just a cuff. I mean, there are lots of people who know the precision, but I'm on live with you, so I'm just giving you my best guess.
Yeah, understood. I wanted to follow up as well. There's a Wall Street Journal story today, Secretary Lutnick, on the background of the talks, trying to avert the tariffs from Mexico and Canada, and they refer to talks between their negotiators and you as well. And they said they struggled to make their case to President Trump through what they call a phalanx of intermediaries. And they say at times those intermediaries, and I think they're referring as well to yourself, perhaps, are unsure what the president wanted. Can you respond to that? Are you unsure of what President Trump wants?
Look, I love when the fake news comes up with nonsense just to sell a newspaper. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. The president is he loves to communicate. He calls everybody all the time. I speak to him all the time. You've got to be kidding me. The president knows exactly what he wants. We know exactly what he wants, and our job is to try to execute exactly what he wants. But anybody says that his advisors don't know what he's thinking are silly.
So you're saying you communicated fully with your counterparts in Mexico and Canada, for example, exactly what the president wants, I assume.
Like yesterday and the day before yesterday, of course. Like, come on. I mean, this is so silly. This is really important stuff. And to actually have a news reporter come up with such nonsense like that, I mean, how much time do we really have to spend on things that are just really just pathetic?
Well, let me ask you this, Secretary Lutnick. Does the president want a rising stock market? Because we do have stocks 6% off the highs, and confidence is being shaken here a little bit around business. I know you guys wanted lower interest rates, and you're getting that, but kind of for the wrong reasons, because now there's worries about growth and potentially recession because of a trade war.
The president wants American growth and American prosperity. Okay, and the fact if the stock market goes down 0.5% or 1%, it goes up 0.5% or 1%, that is not the driving force of our outcomes. Our outcomes are driven by, we want factory production in America. We want employment to explode in America. We want training for the new AI industrial revolution to happen in America. We're going to bring factories back to America. We're going to rebuild Michigan. We're going to rebuild Ohio. Why do those auto plants go to Canada? Why would we have auto plants go from Michigan to Canada? Why is that in our community's interest? We want to rebuild steel and aluminum. Right. The president is focused on rebuilding America, and you are going to see growth in America. You're going to see an interest rate when we balance the budget of the United States. You're going to see interest rates drop 1% or more. You're going to see the stock market explode. And if it doesn't do it tomorrow, that's because people just don't understand that they should be betting on Donald Trump. If I were them and I were your viewers, I would understand the long-term trade of Donald Trump is you bet on him, and he is a winner, and he is going to win for America.
Well, we are going to obviously be able to find out, specific to auto manufacturing, because you've mentioned it a number of times. I mean, there are plenty of automobiles manufactured in this country, not just domestically by Ford or GM, but also many foreign companies as well, Secretary Lutnick. And they have supply chains that they've spent years sort of figuring out where things should be made to try to be, my sense is, as competitive as they can be globally. Do you think by moving everything back as you describe it that they're going to be able to be competitive globally? Aren't prices ultimately going to actually have to rise?
I think if you want to buy things from other countries and you want to bring it into America, then the price is going to rise. But if you make it here, then of course the price won't rise. So make it here. Make it here. How hard is that to say? Just keep repeating it to yourself. There's no tariff if you make it here. So TSMC, the biggest chip manufacturer, says, okay, I'll make it here. You're going to watch everybody come to that realization. Apple, who builds it all in China. Why are they building it all in China and giving us our iPhone? Why don't they make it here? You know,
Well,
they
one
used to say
answer-
we don't have.
It's cheaper.
One answer, Mr.
Go ahead.
Secretary, is that wages are lower over there.
And now there are robots who can do it. You're going to see robotic production of iPhones and the jobs that are going to be created, people who build those factories, the mechanics who work on those robots. These jobs are going to be millions and millions of those jobs. These are great, high-paying jobs, and you don't need a college education to do it. This is the recreation of tradecraft in the United States of America, and Donald Trump is on it. He's bringing it back, and you are going to see Apple. Why did Apple say they were going to invest $500 billion in America? Because they're going to build the robots to build their iPhones in America.
That's the first time I've heard you, Mr. Secretary, merge the notions of reshoring and robotics, that somehow this is going to be two parts of the same story.
That's where it's coming from. I mean, how can Apple move? Like, if you look at Foxconn, who makes iPhones, right? They have 2.5 million people who work for them in China. And, of course, you know, the worst statistic I can tell you about that is they have the highest suicide rate of any company in the world, because they have these people live there and work there and live there and work there. That's just not an American way. How can we compete with that labor? The answer is robotics are going to do it better and cheaper, and the key to robotics is going to be American AI and American intuition and the American technology. It's all coming here. It's coming here now, and we need the people to fix them, to build these factories. Right. I mean, the scale by which these great jobs are coming to America is going to be amazing.
So, all right, because robots usually replace people, but you think that ultimately it's going to create jobs?
Oh, I'm sure of it. You're going to see my department is going to come out with a plan that has a guarantee. If you go into the training program, you will be guaranteed a job making more than $125,000, and we're going to have 5 million jobs available. And those jobs are going to be offered by who? By Apple, by TSMC, by SoftBank, by OpenAI. They all need to build their factories, maintain their factories, and operate their factories. These are a different kind of electrician, a different kind of plumber, HVAC people, a different kind of mechanic. These are the people who work on high tech like airplanes. And there's going to be millions of these jobs, and these jobs are going to make America great again from its workforce rebuilding. Automakers are going to come back. Everybody's coming back.
T-shirts,
this is the golden
sneakers,
age,
towels,
and you're talking about it today.